To people in the UK, you know what I can do and you can't do? Well, now the answer to that question is the Pirate Bay. I can now go to the Pirate Bay and obtain whatever it is that I feel like that I want to obtain, and you cannot. Now, many of the people in the UK know, people outside the UK are not as much aware that the Pirate Bay has now been banned by the United Kingdom authorities. They have ruled that this violates British copyright, which means a severe blow has been dealt to freedom of speech, freedom of access to information, and the freedom of the ability to share information. Which means now, as a result of the ruling, people like Sky, Everything Everywhere, TalkTalk, O2, Virgin Mobile are now required by law to prevent anybody from accessing the Pirate Bay service. Now, the British phonogenic industry, a spokesman for it, Geoff Taylor, spoke about the recent ruling. The High Court has confirmed that the Pirate Bay infringes copyright on a massive scale. Its operators line their pockets by commercially exploiting music and other creative works without paying a penny to the people who created them. From here on, they go on to claim that this copying will destroy the industry and end everything as we know it. Now, I am a child of the 80s. I was around in the 80s when cassette players became very popular and people recorded songs off the radio. Of course, at no point did this actually destroy the music industry. The same thing was said for VCRs when they came out. If you record movies with VCRs or stack two of them together to record them after you rent them, this would destroy the movie industry and it would all be gone and we'll all be stuck in a silent Orwellian world without movies. Well, as you can tell, that didn't happen. Now, they also said the same thing when Napster came out. I was in my final year of high school when Napster really started to take off, and I was an avid user of that service. It was also said at the time by the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, that this would absolutely destroy the music industry. Well, of course, 12 years later, the music industry has not been destroyed. It's gotten pretty bad in terms of the talent that's put out, but it hasn't actually destroyed the recording industry and has actually given a leg up to a lot of smaller artists who don't get signed to labels because they're not corporate mass-produced crap. Now, the Open Rights group, the group Open Rights, issued a statement on this ruling. Blocking the Pirate Bay is pointless and dangerous. It will fuel calls for further, wider, even more drastic calls for internet censorship of many kinds, from pornography to extremism. Internet censorship is growing in scope and becoming easier, yet it never has the effect desired. It simply turns criminals into heroes. They are quite right. This is going too far. This is turning people who would normally be just regular users into radicals that might escalate their tactics to much more dangerous and more destructive means to defend their, rights. And this is a continuing pattern of censoring the internet and eventually censoring all free speech that is electronic, because that's only the real one that we really have right now. Go down to Occupy Wall Street, you're going to get your head cracked by a cop. Put stuff online and they're going to trace you. One of the few free mediums we have left is the internet. In fact, I think it may actually be the only one. Now, what's being deliberately overlooked here is the fact that this is being done for the benefit of big companies. Big companies who own copyrights and matters like that. And it's all about making money. This is mine. I have to use it to make money. Of course, those profits aren't actually going down, but that's besides the point. This is done at the behest of the richest, most powerful people in the entertainment industry. And by default, because they're actually owned by the richest, most powerful people in the world. This is capitalism. This is the ownership of property and the right to use it to make money. This is being done by capitalism and by actual capitalists. But that usually gets ignored. It's usually claimed to be big government out of control, or perhaps even corporations of not real capitalism going too far. In reality, this is profit motive driven because this is about making money. And no attempt to portray it as anything else would be honest.